Burton from the Palace of Praise Church. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I want to say thank you for the privilege to be here tonight. And let's just bow our heads and go before the Lord in prayer. Father, we thank you tonight for the privilege and the opportunity that we have to be in this place. We thank you for our mayor, these great men and women on this council. God, we just ask you, Lord, as we gather here tonight with grateful hearts, seeking your guidance and your wisdom, as these men and women serve our beloved community of Poplar Bluff, we thank you for the gift of the city, for the beautiful of its people, and for the opportunities that lies before us. Lord, we ask that for your strength and for your clarity as we navigate the challenges facing our town. Grant them the ability to be able to listen with open hearts and minds, to work together in unity. May we discuss and reflect compassion, integrity, and commitment to the common good. Help this council to foster an environment where every voice is heard and where we can promote growth and safety and prosperity for all. Let them be stewards of this resource and trusted to them by ensuring that every action that's taken uplifts our community and strengthens the bonds of the members here tonight, God. And Lord, we're just so blessed, and we thank you for it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Burton, Reverend Burton. Roll call, Clerk Phelps.
Councilman Boyer? Here. Councilwoman Horton?
Here.
Councilman Smith?
Here.
Councilman Massingham?
Here.
Councilman DePew?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Parson?
Here.
Mayor Cornman?
Here.
We have 7 present.
Item 5, disclosure of interest. Any member of the City Council may disclose any possible conflict of interest dealing with either any item on the printed agenda or with any matter discussed in previous meeting. Oh, go ahead.
I have a conflict of interest on the Go Downtown, daughter's on the board.
Okay.
Do I need to set out for the discussion or just the voting?
I would go ahead and set the discussion out and then the voting too. When we get to that point, you don't have to do it right this second, but we're going to citizens input, so yeah, it might be a good idea.
Is your mic on? Is your mic on?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, item 6 are citizens input. Each person in the audience may take this opportunity to address the City Council on any matter which is not on the printed agenda. We have several that would like to speak tonight, so I'm just going to start right out of the gate here with Diana Collard. Is she here? Okay.
Yeah. Should we wait for people to talk on
Talk about downtown.
Okay. Just give your name and your address for the record. If that mic may not be on.
I don't think it is.
That's on the agenda.
We'll just let it.
Oh, I was just saying,
It's on the agenda. Yeah,
these are
These-
comments on items not on the agenda?
yeah, and this is all on the agenda.
Okay.
So
Well,
typically what we do, if this item is on the agenda tonight, why don't we do this? We'll let you guys just talk just a couple minutes and we'll move through it since it is on the agenda. We don't want to get into a long drawn out scenario but it is on the agenda. But go ahead with give your name and your address.
Well, yes, Mr. Mayor. And anyway, I'm Diana Collard. I live at 723 North 9th Street. And I'd like to say something about downtown. I'm not part of the Go Downtown organization. I'm just a resident. I'm a writer and I do a lot of research and book signings, so I travel and I see other cities' downtowns. Friday I was in Pocahontas. They have a very lively downtown. I'm frequently in Jonesboro. They have a very busy downtown. Perryville has a lovely downtown. And I come home and I see our downtown, and I do see the neglected buildings, but I also see the potential potential. And I think there's a lot of potential in our downtown. And I would like to see that happen. There's been lots of ideas floated around. I've got ideas. I think what's needed is maybe some money. Anyway, I really miss the Dollar General store. I mean, I know it's not how shall I say, everybody's pick on a business, but it was very useful. And the newspaper is there, and the library is there. And one of the things I see is we have events, and people need lodging. And there's none in downtown, which would be most convenient. The rodeo's coming up. And, but anyway, there's a lot of potential, and I'd like to see it happen.
All right, thank you, Diana. What I'm going to do is we're just going to wait till we get to item B, and then we're going to do that. Is there anybody that would like to speak on anything other than downtown right now that's not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none. Item 7, workshop items for discussion. The City Council will discuss the proposed issuance of tax increment refunding revenue bonds, 8 Points Redevelopment Project. Ms. Shannon Creighton is going to be here
Get her going.
on Zoom. I think she's under the weather.
Yes, she's ill this evening, so.
Is in here?
Mr. Mayor, you might want to apologize to the audience about our setup here tonight because she's not here in person. You know.
Well, it's a little crooked for everybody.
When I get to speak, would I
You want to come over here and speak?
Yeah,
That's
I
fine.
think that'd be better.
That's fine. Okay. Lori, do you want to come over here too? Maybe.
You want me to move?
Yeah, if you want to switch spots with her that way. Well, you can bring some up here. You want to go ahead and start.
Jim, Shannon, can you guys hear us?
Yes. Yes. Can.
Good evening.
We can you.
So we'll just turn it over to you guys, and I don't know if Shannon's going to do the majority of the talking, but go over with the council, and we have quite an audience tonight of just give you a presentation on what we're looking at doing here.
Okay. Well, Shannon's a little bit under the weather, so this is Jim Leahy speaking, and I'm with John Klaus, colleague at Stiefel, and thank you for accommodating us this evening to be on this way. Shannon, as I said, Shannon's I'm definitely under the weather, and we appreciate you accommodating us. So let me first of all ask a question. Shannon prepared a memorandum, and it's very well done. It's very specific. I'm happy to go through it. John can go through it. Has everyone seen that memorandum?
Yes, it went out in their council packets.
Okay, great. So maybe what I'll do then is just go through it quickly, and John and I, Shannon, of course, will be available for any questions that you might have. In 2015, we were the underwriter of the bonds that occurred then. I should back up. In August of 2012, the city approved tax increment financing and entered into a redevelopment agreement and agreed to reimburse the developer up to $35 million. In 2015 and again in 2017, bonds were issued. Again, we were the underwriter. And now what's happening here, we fast forward. By the way, the development's performed quite well, and we'll talk about the redemptions to date here shortly. The developers request the city consider issuing an additional series of bonds to refund the subordinate obligations, which we'll talk about in a second here. We believe it's a good opportunity. We'll talk about the reasons why it's beneficial from this.
Since
No, they
we,
froze
since we
up.
can all see this, do you guys want to turn that to the audience where they can see what's going on?
Yeah, 'cause they can't see.
Just for the benefit of the audience, what we're talking about here is our bonds that were issued to pay back the developer, the 8 Points Development out at Menards and Academy.
You guys froze up. Are you there?
Yeah, you froze up. Billy, you care to switch that around for them to see?
They have to switch the camera also.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know if it will.
Yeah, man, you may be right.
No, they can't see us. We're seeing them. There's not a camera.
No, but it's projected.
He meant
Yeah.
to, if he
Oh,
moves the projector.
Never mind. We better just keep it the way it is.
Yeah, if we can just keep going.
All right. You guys unfroze? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sure. So, sorry about the technology, but, so in 2015, there was a Series A bonds that were issued in the amount of $16,900,000. And currently, the outstanding balance of those bonds is $5,705,000. Okay, that was the 2015 A bonds. And then in 2017, there was $11,670,000 in bonds that were issued, and the current outstanding balance is $7,395,000. There's also a subordinate 2015 B bonds, and that's important to this discussion, that the developer owns and holds those bonds. $17,639,168. They accrue interest, but they are not paid. The interest rate on those bonds is 8%. And that is a reason we believe that the bonds can currently be refunded, and we would reduce that interest rate. You never know until you actually get into the market and do it, but we anticipate that the interest rate would be approximately cut in half, somewhere in the 4 to 450 range. So there's certainly the benefit there. Then the size of the issue that we're contemplating is $24 million. And what we're doing is completely refunding the 2015 A's and the 2017 bonds, and we're going to take out as much of the subordinate bonds, those high interest bearing bonds as possible. That's the purpose of this. So what are the benefits and what are the reasons to do this from a city standpoint? First of all, the city agreed to, when they enter into the agreement with the developer, to make a best efforts to issue bonds sufficient to refund all outstanding developer-held bonds. Didn't have to do it, but you agreed to use your best efforts to do it. You don't control the market. None of us do, but we work with it, and we're fortunate to have a very good history with the payment on these bonds and favorable market conditions right now that are justified. Second of all, the proposed refunding bonds will be used to refinance all, as I just mentioned, of the 2015 A and as much of the Bs as possible, as well as the 2017s. So I mentioned that the size of the issue is approximately, we're estimating to be $24 million. I mentioned the interest rate we anticipate would be cut in half from the 8 to 4 or 4.5. What's called the bottom half of municipal revenues. And you pledge that we believe with the performance to date of how the bonds are doing, that we no longer need that pledge. So those bonds would be, those revenues that are pledged to the bonds would no longer be necessary, and they would flow to the city. Another reason is that the complexity of the two bond issues, the one in 2015 and one in 2017, there were two areas. So there is an administrative effort by the city. We've done a great job with it, but you have to allocate the revenues for each of those two areas. Once this refunding would occur, you will no longer have the two areas. It would just be the complete redevelopment TIF area. And then finally, one of the bigger reasons here is that there's a surplus. I'm just going to read from Shannon's memo. The redevelopment agreement and the current bond indenture provided that 50% of the pilots, the payments in lieu of taxes generated per year, will be declared a surplus. The trustee currently is holding approximately $1,750,000. Once this refunding occurs, that surplus would be not only distributed to the city, but to Butler County, the school district, and the community college. And so again, those are the benefits. I've gone over them quickly. John or Shannon, anything you guys would like to add before we open it up to questions?
Nothing. This is John, and thank you all for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. I don't have a whole lot to add at all. That was a great summary, and Shannon's memo did a really nice job of summarizing this as well. The only thing I just want to reiterate, Jim had touched on it, is part of this refunding will not only refund all of the senior bonds, but will the senior 2015 and 15A bonds and the senior 2017 bonds, but also a portion of the 15B bonds, the subordinate bonds. That amount is a little under $12 million. So I just wanted to point that out because that subordinate 15B is accruing at 8%. And so by refunding almost $12 million of that today, the likelihood of paying off all of the TIP debt before the end of the life of the TIP, it increases significantly versus if you were just leaving the 8% interest-bearing subordinate bonds outstanding. I think there was, I didn't really have anything else to add, but I'm happy to help answer any questions.
Any questions from the council? David, you have some questions?
Yeah, hey, thank you, thank all of you from Stiefel from being here to answer our questions. And Shannon talked to Lori Phelps and I the other day, and she did a really good job of answering our questions. And even after hearing that, I tried to explain it to some of our citizens, and I couldn't. And so tonight's a great opportunity because you've got a full house here tonight of people to talk about another issue. And this is a great opportunity for them to understand what's going on in town with the 8-point development out there and how it's paid for. And so I did have some questions, and pardon me if I don't understand all how this works. I probably don't ask the questions properly, but kind of from a very high level of understanding of this, I understand from what Shannon was telling us that the infrastructure for that 8 points was built by a developer, which we're paying that developer back through half of the sales tax. Is that right? Did I ask that correctly?
That's correct. It's the sales tax that's generated within that area. That's correct.
Okay, and how much do we owe the developer for building that infrastructure?
Well, the 2015B bonds, that's the remaining amount that's owed to the developer, the $17.6 million. And as John indicated, we're anticipating that this refunding would repay approximately $12 million of that, a little under $12 million of that.
Okay, yeah, the term refunding kind of threw me when we were talking previously. Basically, in my mind, it's kind of a refinancing. Is that correct?
Absolutely, correct.
Okay. Yeah, it says that we pay that money back with interest for eligible costs. What are those eligible costs?
So when the city entered into the redevelopment agreement with the developer, there were certain costs that they agreed would be eligible for reimbursement. Basically, it was the infrastructure that went in, the utilities, the roads within the development, those types of costs. no vertical construction, so no buildings, they weren't reimbursed for buildings. Land acquisition was an eligible expense as well, those types of expenses.
Okay. One last question for me is, you discussed in your summary here, it's called, the developer requested that we float some additional series bonds to refund the developer's subordinate bond. I'm not sure, what is a subordinate bond?
The subordinate bond is simply a bond that is held by the developer here. It's essentially an IOU. It is just evidence of their right to receive additional reimbursement. But they're subordinate because those bonds aren't paid until the other two series of bonds are paid in full. So the 2015A and the 2017 bonds would have to be paid off completely before the developer started receiving revenue for the bond that it holds. But here, we would be refunding or refinancing both the 2015A and the 2017 bonds, and again, a large portion of that subordinate bond. So the developer will receive cash at closing, and then all three of those bonds will be essentially made into one series of bonds.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot easier to deal with. It says the city would reimburse a developer up to $35 million. These additional subordinate bonds, would that increase that over? Or what's our total amount that we have to pay back? Is that the $24 million at this point?
Well, it's $35 million. You agreed to reimburse $35 million plus accrued interest. And so, again, the remaining amount owed to the developer currently, as of today, is roughly that $17.6 million. But that is accruing interest and compounding semi-annually. So, that's the amount that's currently owed to the developer.
Okay, one more thing. So we would refinance from 8% down to 4 or 4.5%, and that would be advantageous to us by saving interest money that we wouldn't have to pay back, and we'd pay it off sooner. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, that's all I got. Thank you.
Any other questions from the council? All right, guys, we sure thank you for your time and your explanations.
Thanks, all of you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And I just wanted to, if I could, just, we do want to get, if the council wants to proceed with this refinancing, we'd like to get an indication that you would like to do that. Jim, our thought, if it's still the thought, is that we would come back through the council at your meeting on April 6th. With an ordinance to workshop, and then for a final passage on April 20th. If you all want to proceed, we'd just like to get an indication that you'd like us to go ahead and proceed with this refinancing.
Can we get a consensus on that? Everybody on board?
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody's on board?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's on board for that.
Okay. All right. And we appreciate you, again, I appreciate you all letting us meet. Jim said that earlier, and I appreciate you doing that and letting us meet this way. So, not ideal, but we appreciate it.
All right, well, thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
I'm just going to motion it. We're going to move it to April 6th, so whoever does it will need to know that. April 6th is going to be that voting for that, even though the paperwork says March 16th. So whoever makes the motion.
April 6th.
April 6th.
Who says it?
Yeah.
I make a motion to move this to the voting session to be held April the 6th.
Second.
I think that, wasn't it, she had requested we workshop it on April 6th and vote on the 20th, but
On the final voting on the 20th.
I thought we had April 16th. It's just a workshop on the 16th.
No.
Yeah, that is the workshop, yeah. So the vote on the 16th, or the
The vote will be the 20th,
20th.
but they want to come back as another workshop on
Oh,
the
yes,
6th.
okay, that's what she said, yeah.
She want to come
So
back
we-
in person.
Yeah, I got you. So we have a second.
I second. I second all.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, the city council will discuss the funding of downtown operations relative to Grow Our Downtown, a 501c3 nonprofit. City manager Lori Phelps to present.
We have several people here tonight. It was discussed at length at our last meeting, so do we want to start with some council comments, or do we want to open it up to the public first?
Let's get the public's take, and then let the council kind of react off of them. Austin Kirby. Name and address, please, for the record.
Austin Kirby, 407 North Avondale, here in Poplar Bluff. I hope that the council and mayor, you guys, take this opportunity to help get the downtown back to where it needs to be. Like that lady said earlier, you go to most other towns around here, and their downtown is beautiful. And ours could be. It has a lot of potential. We have a lot of things around here that most towns don't have. How many towns have 2 train depots? Not many. And there's a lot of good history down there, and I hope that in your wisdom you will choose to support them and help them get the things they need done.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby.
Thank you.
Phyllis Baker.
Mr. Mayor, do I speak now, or?
Yeah, now's a good time. Let's go ahead and talk, yeah. Go ahead and give your name and address too, please.
Could the Grow Our Downtown Board come up?
Yeah, if you guys all want to come up at once, that's fine.
Speak things up a little.
Yeah.
I'm Phyllis Baker, 3500 Marble Hill Road, Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
Stephanie Nobby, 1133 County Road 552, Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
Can they hear in the audience?
Heather Williams, 115 Pine Street, Greenville, Missouri.
Yeah, speakers are back there.
Danielle Hillis, 727 Foley Street, Poplar Bluff.
Rhonda Hillis, 367 College Street, Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Thank you again for this opportunity to speak. I know we came 2 weeks ago and spoke about the funding and requested funding that was returned to the city to possibly be moved over to us, including the farmers market account if you want us to run that. And we discussed some issues about the farmers market account, that if you didn't have a group to run the farmers market account, then I'm assuming that the city would have to step up and work with the person who's been the manager for the past several years and make sure that everything's run and do the separate bank account and all that. So that's going to be a lot of extra work onto the city. We did discuss possibly getting a grant, a USDA grant. That grant was closed before we got our information, and we thought that we had until the 28th of February, but that didn't happen, so we'll have to wait till next year for a grant on that. So the operating money that is in that account would be all that there is to operate the farmers market account at this time. And, I mean, we met for several hours today, so I think
Yes,
you kind of know where we stand.
My understanding was this was going to be a voting session tonight. Will it be a discussion or a vote?
Well, we're doing probably going to do a little bit of both. So I know David had some stuff he wanted to add to that.
Yeah, thank everybody for coming here tonight and about this topic. I'm assuming most of you here are about that. I'd like to explain a little bit about last city council meeting. We had quite a bit of discussion about this before. It was almost like a pre-workshop that we had before the last city council meeting. During that meeting, a motion was made to give the public and the city council 2 weeks to mull this over, to do their own research, to think about it, to come up with their own comments, and that tonight we would workshop it and vote on it. I apologize, it did not get in the agenda that way, so there's a little bit of confusion. That meeting got a little bit convoluted last time, and I think it just kind of got lost in the mix. So I make a motion that tonight we are going to workshop this and vote on the distribution of funds if we do that.
Okay, well, we still have one more speaker to go. So.
All right, I'll hold that.
Are you guys wrapped up? Are you good? Is everything? Okay.
I have something to say if you're going to.
Go right ahead.
So if this turns into a vote, I'm going to respectfully ask a question. Mr. Massingham, you were on the board of Downtown Poplar Bluff, Inc. and voted at the final dissolution. Would that be a conflict of interest?
Not anymore.
Mr. Richardson?
I don't think so.
Not anymore.
It is the funding that we're requesting.
Mr. Richardson says there's no conflict. I will go with his opinion.
Parliamentarian for the council, there is no conflict of interest on Mr. Massingham's part.
Okay.
Jim Chrisman? Name and address, Jim, please.
Jim Chrisman, 1829 Whispering Oaks Place, Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Mr. Mayor, Council, I asked my AI before I came down how many Poplar Bluffs there were in the United States of America. Came back, simple answer. There's only one community in the United States officially named Poplar Bluff, and that is here in Missouri. A little bit of history. Downtown Poplar Bluff was established in the fall of in 2008 with a director's salary of $50,000. Over the approximately 16 years it has existed, an estimated $800,000 in city and state funds has been spent under 4 or 5 directors, beginning with Tracy Frisch and ending with Morgan Massingham as the last director.
McIntosh.
I'm sorry. When reviewing the outcomes of this investment, there is evidence that results in the proportional cost doesn't account for what has happened. Accomplishments appear to include signage, a parking lot purchase, Edison Lighting, Iron Horse Festivals, and the Farmers Market, some of which were supported through grants. In 2007 and 2008, the city participated in the DREAM program, Downtown Revitalization Economic Assistance for Missouri, was a statewide program funded by the state of Missouri. Poplar Bluff was designated a DREAM community in August of 2007 under Governor Matt Blunt. A professional master plan was created using public funds. However, that plan was never implemented. Originally, Downtown Poplar Bluff, Inc. functioned as a management board. Approximately 3 years ago, it was converted to an advisory board without a vote of the board and with responsibility of personnel switched from the city to the Chamber of Commerce at that time. The city continued paying $25,000 of the director's salary, but the chamber picked up the other $25,000 using public funds, which is the funding for motel use. There have been concerns expressed regarding potential commingling of funds between the Chamber of Commerce and Downtown Poplar Bluff, Inc. If accurate, this raises a question that may warrant an independent audit for transparency and accountability. Since the dissolution of Downtown Poplar Bluff, Inc., a new group of citizens has formed with the goal of revitalizing downtown by actively implementing the original DREAM initiatives. This group respectfully requests the return of Downtown Poplar Bluff, Inc. funds currently held by the city while their organization was finalized. One of the group's highest priorities is a continuation and expansion of the farmers market, which will require stable and appropriate funding. In addition, nationally recognized Main Street models will be studied for best practices that may be applied locally. I'm just a citizen wanting to move forward with vibrant downtown Poplar Bluff. Let's make this happen.
Thank you, Jim. You have any comments?
Are there any more speakers?
No, it's all speakers.
Can I make that motion? I make a motion to correct item B of section 7 of the tonight's agenda to add the wording and move the resolution of this item to the voting session to be held tonight. I've requested an action item be produced that will make this happen, and I think Mr. Richardson has worked on that.
If your motion is to vote on this tonight, you'll also need to include in that motion what the specific language of the action item will be so that we can vote on and then draft accordingly an ordinance.
Should I read that now?
No, just hold on. We got one more speaker.
Oh.
I don't think we got it up here. Come on, John. Come on up. Thank you.
My name is John Stannard. Live on 1310 Barron Road in Poplar Bluff. I don't really have a dog in this fight, as they say, but my family, and including myself,
Bring your
own
mic up.
property.
Bring your mic up just a little bit, John. Just a little
There you go.
There you go.
I'm a loud talker, so I backed off a little. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Looks good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
My family owned property downtown, the Daily American Republic, for 72 years. We no longer own that, but I'm still interested in downtown. I live out on Barron Road. I'm kind of semi-retired, but not really. And I know I'm not an attorney, of course, but I've had some experience with 501c3 nonprofits, and I know that when you dissolve one, the money or whatever assets are left must go to another entity of a similar nature that will benefit a similar, in this case, something to benefit downtown. Would you agree with that, Mr. Richardson?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, that's I think a general rule of 501c3s. So, as I understand it, there were 2 checks from the previous corporation made out to the city of Poplar Bluff. Is that correct, Ms. Phelps?
Yes, that's correct.
So one of them was some grant money left over from a USDA grant for the farmers market. The other check, and quite a bit more money, I think, in the second check, was again made out to the city of Poplar Bluff. Both those checks represented the assets of Downtown Poplar Bluff Corporation. So whatever that money is used for, I think needs to benefit downtown. Maybe at this point, it doesn't need to be earmarked, I wouldn't think, but it's for the benefit of downtown. That was the intent. Would you agree with that, Mr. Richardson?
Generally, yes.
Okay, thank you.
But specifically, I think the council still has the authority to utilize that money as they see fit.
So you think they could use that money to fix the streets or do something like that?
No, I said generally I agree with you.
Okay, okay. But it's for downtown, and that's the point I wanted to make. And And I have no idea how anybody's going to vote or even what the issue is, but I just wanted to put in my 2 cents, and I appreciate the opportunity to do that. And I appreciate all of your efforts. Having served on a couple of boards, it's a thankless job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
State.
you.
I think we had the motion already out. You said the motion? Yes.
Okay. I make a motion to correct item B of section 7, to add the wording, quote, and move the resolution of this item to the voting session to be held tonight. The action item wording that I propose to be action item GG to be voted on tonight is the city council will take action directing the city clerk to transfer the remaining funds from the farmers market account to a dedicated farmers market account to be accessed by the Grow Our Downtown 501c3 and used exclusively for the operation of the farmers market, and to transfer the remaining funds from the dissolved 501c3 operating account to the Grow Our Downtown 501c3 to be used for continued work toward revitalization of downtown Poplar Bluff.
Well, it sounds like an ordinance already.
So we have the motion.
So we're in search of a second.
We are in search of a second.
Okay.
How about I just second that?
All right. Sounds good. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item C, the City Council will consider a recommendation from the Municipal Utilities Advisory Board regarding the vacating of 2 sewer easements between the City of Poplar Bluff and Luther Snyder as guardian for Andy L. Smith, NCM, and J.L. and Daisy C. Smith. Utilities General Manager Bill Bach.
I'll wait.
You don't want to miss anything.
I'm going to talk a long time.
There you go. Get at it.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, this workshop agenda deals with the request for the vacation of 2 sewer easements which were conveyed to Walmart properties in 88, 89, approximately. That building was constructed. For the construction of the existing Walmart, the sewer line had to be moved. The sewer line was moved, the easements were never acquired, and now I'm cleaning that up because they want to do addition onto the property and they want that to be conveyed or released back to them. So we have received the easement that we need, and now we're to the point of requesting a vacation of the 2 easements. If there are any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
So this is basically housekeeping.
Yeah, back from 88.
Yeah.
I tried, when Murphy's went in, we tried to clean it up. I got with Mr. Richardson then. We tried to clean it up, and we felt since Murphy was really a different piece of property, even though it was still owned by them, we could not hold them to clean it all up at once. And now that they're wanting to do something, we were able to basically, okay, now we'll clean it up.
Okay.
I see no downside in this. Is there any negative aspect to this?
That sewer line has been in service since 89.
Okay. Sounds like a prudent thing to do.
Like I said, we're cleaning something up that dates back to then, when that building was constructed.
I make a motion to be moved to the voting session to be held March the 16th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item C, the City Council will consider a recommendation from the Municipal Utilities Advisory Board regarding the vacating, well, we've already done that one. Item D, the City Council will consider a bid received for the lease of 9.71 and 19 acres of farmland located at the Poplar Bluff Regional Business Airport. Manager Phelps.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is property located at the airport that we have leased for farmland for many years. We advertised for bids and received one in the amount of $100 per acre per year for a total of $2,871 per year. It will be a 5-year lease. The bid received was from Price Thurman and Brendan Yarborough. Mr. Thurman's grandfather held the lease for this farmland for decades, so kind of handed it off to his grandson.
I make a motion, move to the voting session be held March the 6th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item E, the City Council will consider bids received for a Cisco Catalyst core switch. Network Administrator Michael Pry to present.
Mayor, members of council. We've got a piece of equipment, it's called a core switch. Sits in the center of the network, connects basically everything together, whether it's computers or wireless access points or servers or SANs and NAS, everything you can think of. It basically switches the data from point to point. The one we've got is end of life. It's end of support. They won't offer support contracts. They won't provide you with any replacement hardware modules. They won't basically do anything for that equipment. They consider it dead at this point, and that was at the end of last year. However, it has been running since 2014, so we did get a pretty good run out of it. We recently got bids for a replacement. 5 bids came in. One was rejected initially because of refurbished equipment and not new equipment. The remaining, out of the remaining bids, the lowest bid was $77,101 from Today's Computers, and that's the one I'm recommending. The reason I try to steer away from refurbished equipment, we've had a lot of issues in the past with other refurbished equipment. In one case, we went down that road, we got refurbished equipment in. Then when we needed assistance with it, the manufacturer said, that wasn't sold in the United States originally. That was sold in Europe, and we don't support that here. Or that was never put under an initial contract, so we can't extend it anymore. There's always something. As far as the length of time it would run, maybe it would run as long as a new one. You can always get a new one that's a lemon. I mean, everything is that way. But just given the history of what I've run into with refurbished equipment in the past, I don't recommend it. This particular bidder, when I started looking into it, it looks like their business was probably only 2 to 3 years old. I don't know whether they're going to stay in business or not for the length of time that that will be used. If it isn't, we'll have the same situation that we've run into already in 2014 when we had a lot of equipment purchased and then the company went out. And that was in Michigan. Some of you probably remember. Oh, yes. So, yeah.
How could we forget?
So, and even we checked with a Cisco sales representative, and he said that it appeared that their domain name was registered in Lithuania. You know, with the internet today, I guess you could register a domain anywhere in the world if you want to. It just seems kind of unusual. And then with the 2 to 3 year business profile that they've got, I just wasn't comfortable recommending it. So, so my recommendation is for the lowest of the new equipment bids from Today's Computers.
Mr. Pry and I talked earlier about the differences there, and I appreciate your explanation about the refurbished equipment. I thought that might be worth a shot to try it since it's like half price, but it sounds like the risk is not worth
I would be worried about
taking
it. Even just the fact that it is half as much kind of would indicate to me it's a little bit scary because they shouldn't even be able to buy it for what they're selling it for.
Yeah, this is something the city relies on every day, and
Yeah,
would
without-
cripple the city if it went down, and it sounds like
Yes.
this certainly needs to be purchased, although it is a huge purchase.
It is. Certainly less than the one that's replacing, but technology kind of goes that way, thankfully. Yeah.
So are we having issues now with the one we have?
We have had last year in the fall. We got it just under the radar and got a module replaced before the end of the year. But right now, we're kind of on a wing and a prayer.
It's reached its end of life, is that right?
It is end of
like
life.
last fall?
It's end of life and end of support.
And to support?
So most of the time, people try to kind of, there's all kinds of little lines in the road here. So first they stop selling it as a new product, then they stop selling it as the last year's model kind of thing, and then eventually you get down to it's end of life. We're not going to really give you any updates on it, but we'll still help you with it for a while. But then when it gets to end of support, it's over. It's done at that point.
Okay.
Michael, back in 2015, I think you'll remember that the computer system that was installed, we were told that it was better than what the city of Denver, Colorado had.
Yeah.
Are we still better than Denver?
Well, the main equipment that they were talking about, I think, was our phone system.
Okay.
When we went to get support for that after they bailed and the whole thing fell apart, we had a lot of trouble getting some company to agree to help us with that. And, we were telling them all the equipment we have just, for a third-party support. And they were like, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that too. Yeah, phone? No, we're not interested in the phones.
Sorry, I couldn't help but mention that.
Yeah, it was very expensive to keep that running. I'm glad that we no longer have to do that.
I make a motion to move it to the voting session to be held March 16th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 8 are action required items. A, Bill number 8670. City Council take action on ordinance authorizing the donation of antiquated radio equipment from the Poplar Bluff Police Department to the Butler County Emergency Management Agency.
Motion for first reading of bill number 8670.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance authorizing the donation and transfer of antiquated radio equipment from the City of Poplar Bluff Police Department to the Butler County Emergency Management Agency.
I make a motion for the reading of bill number 8670.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance authorizing the donation and transfer of antiquated radio equipment from the City of Poplar Bluff Police Department to the Butler County Emergency Management Agency.
Motion for adoption of bill number 8670.
Second it.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, Clerk Phelps.
Councilman Boyer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Massingham?
Yes.
Councilman DePew?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Parson?
Yes.
Mayor Cornman?
Yes.
We have 7 yes votes.
Bill number 8670 has been adopted. BB, Bill number 8671, the City Council will take action on ordinance accepting a bid for the sale of a 1985 GMC van.
Motion for a first reading.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance accepting the highest and best bid for the sale of a 1985 GMC van owned by the City of Poplar Bluff.
Motion for second reading of bill number 8671.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance accepting the highest and best bid for the sale of a 1985 GMC van owned by the City of Poplar Bluff.
Motion for adoption.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, Clerk Phillips.
Councilwoman Horton?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Massingham?
Yes.
Councilman DePew?
Yes.
Councilman Boyer?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Parson?
Yes.
Mayor Cornman.
Yes.
We have 7 yes votes.
Bill number 8671 has been adopted. CC, Bill number 8672. City Council will take action on an ordinance adding Section 210.100, misuse of emergency telephone service, to the City of Poplar Bluff Code of Ordinances.
Motion for first reading of 8672.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Councilor.
An ordinance amending the City of Poplar Bluff, Missouri's Code of City Ordinances, Section 210-100, relating to the misuse of emergency telephone services.
Make a motion for a second reading of bill number 8672, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Councilor.
An ordinance amending the City of Poplar Bluff, Missouri's Code of City Ordinances, Section 210-100, relating to misuse of emergency telephone service.
Motion for adoption.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, Clerk Phillips.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Massingham?
Yes.
Councilman DePew?
Yes.
Councilman Boyer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Parson?
Yes.
Mayor Cornman.
Yes.
We have 7 yes votes.
Bill number 8672 has been adopted. DD, Bill number 8673, the City Council will take action on an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a collective bargaining agreement between the City of Poplar Bluff and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702, for employees of the Electric Department.
Motion for first reading of bill number 8673.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Councilor.
An ordinance approving a collective bargaining agreement between the City of Poplar Bluff and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702, for its employees at the Poplar Bluff Electric Department, and authorizing the mayor to execute a collective bargaining agreement between the parties.
Motion for second reading of bill number 8673.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Councilor.
An ordinance approving a collective bargaining agreement between the City of Poplar Bluff and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702, for its employees at the Electric Department, and authorizing the mayor to execute a collective bargaining agreement between the parties.
Motion for adoption.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, Clerk Phillips.
Councilman Massingham?
Yes.
Councilman DePew?
Yes.
Councilman Boyer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Parson?
Yes.
Mayor Cornman.
Yes.
We have 7 yes votes.
Bill number 8673 has been adopted. EE, Bill number 8674, the City Council will take action on an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a collective bargaining agreement between the City of Poplar Bluff and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702, for employees of the Water Sewer Department.
Motion for first reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Councilor.
An ordinance approving a collective bargaining agreement between the City of Poplar Bluff and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702, for its employees at the Poplar Bluff Water and Sewer Department, and authorizing the mayor to execute a collective bargaining agreement between the parties.
Motion for second reading of bill number 8674.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Councilor.
An ordinance approving a collective bargaining agreement between the City of Poplar Bluff and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702, for its employees at the Poplar Bluff Water and Sewer Department, and authorizing the mayor to execute a collective bargaining agreement between the parties.
Motion for adoption of bill number 8674.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, Clerk Phillips.
Councilman DePew?
Yes.
Councilman Boyer?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Massingham?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Parson?
Yes.
Mayor Cornman.
Yes.
We have 7 yes votes.
Bill number 8674 has been adopted. FF Bill number 8675, the City Council will take action on a resolution approving and adopting an annual net metering report from the municipal utilities.
Motion for first reading.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance approving and adopting an annual net metering report for the City of Poplar Bluff Municipal Utilities Department.
Motion for second reading of bill number 8675.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance approving and adopting an annual net metering report for the City of Poplar Bluff Municipal Utilities Department.
Motion for adoption.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, Clerk Phelps.
Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilman Massingham,
Yes.
Councilman DePew,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Parson,
Yes.
Mayor Cornman.
Yes.
We have 7 yes votes.
Bill number 8675 has been adopted. Yeah, we'll let him go.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
As a result of the motion that you all adopted, we need to add to the voting session item GG, and we'll need to first read and second read and adopt that by a vote, a recorded vote.
Okay. All right, action item GG, the City Council will take action directing the city clerk to transfer the remaining funds from the farmer's market account to a dedicated farmer's market account to be assessed by the Grow Our Downtown 501c3 and used exclusively for the operation of the farmer's market, and to transfer the remaining funds from the dissolved 501c3 operating account to the Grow Our Downtown 501c3 to be used for continued work toward revitalization of downtown Bluff.
Now, do we need a motion?
We'll do just like we would any other
Motion for first reading.
motion for first reading.
Motion for first reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Poplar Bluff directing the clerk to transfer the remaining funds from the farmer's market account to a dedicated farmer's market account to be accessed by the Grow Our Downtown Poplar Bluff and used exclusively for the operation of the farmer's market, and to transfer the remaining funds from the dissolved 501c3 operating account to Grow Our Downtown to be used for continued work toward revitalization of downtown Poplar Bluff.
Motion for second reading of bill number 8676.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Poplar Bluff directing the city clerk to transfer the remaining funds from the farmer's market account to a dedicated farmer's market account to be accessed by the Grow Our Downtown 501c3 organization and used exclusively for the operation of the downtown farmer's market, and transferring the remaining funds from the dissolved 501c3 operating account to the Grow Our Downtown 501c3 organization to be used for continued work toward the revitalization of downtown Poplar Bluff.
Motion for adoption.
Before we do it, Attorney, I have a question. In this, it talks about moving the money, but it didn't say anything about making them in charge of the farmer's market like they had requested, right, Stephanie? Does that need to be included in that reading? I'm sorry, I didn't even realize.
It wasn't included in the language that you all adopted earlier in
Right.
the meeting. It does require that it be transferred to them, and by their acceptance, we can presume that they are assuming responsibility for it.
So that language doesn't need to be added to it?
I don't think it needs to be.
Okay.
Actually, when I draft this ordinance properly later tonight or early in the morning, I can include that in there. I'm assuming from the discussion that the new 501c3 is willing to assume that
I'm seeing
obligation.
shaking
Is that
heads,
right?
yes.
I'll include that in the ordinance.
Thank you.
So at some point, will
When
we
I
need
draft it,
to,
and it'll be ready tomorrow morning for the mayor to sign. But as far as the first reading and second reading, you can assume that that'll be in the final language of the written ordinance.
so at some point, will we need to, if this passes, will we need to enter into a memorandum of understanding with them for the operation of the market?
Yeah, I would suggest that we do that. It's not included in the language in this particular ordinance, but I think we need a specific written memorandum of understanding that those funds will be segregated and used, and they will be accountable to the City of Poplar Bluff City Council for the use of those monies. And there's no restriction on the remaining amounts of monies that are being transferred.
I make a motion for adoption of Bill 8676.
Second.
All right, do we have any questions or discussion? Anybody like to add anything to this? Okay, roll call, Clerk Phelps.
Councilwoman Horton?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Massingham?
Yes.
Councilman Boyer?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Parson?
Yes.
Mayor Cornman?
Yes.
We have 6 yes votes.
Thank you all for coming tonight.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations, guys. Look forward to seeing the progress and seeing how we move forward, so. All right, we are not going into closed session tonight. Item 9, our city manager's report.
The only thing I have is on the 14th at New Covenant Fellowship Church.
No.
We're having a memorial from the tornado, March 14th.
Hey, folks.
I'll send you guys some.
The meeting's not over.
We are still officially in the meeting,
Hey,
folks.
folks.
Please.
Saying something.
That's
Wrap it up.
Hey, you want to just wait until they get out of here?
Yeah, they think it's over anyway. You guys want to have a seat just for a second? We'll wrap this up. Lori, go ahead with your city manager's report.
The only thing I have is there will be a memorial service at New Covenant Fellowship Church on Saturday, March 14th, to honor those affected by the tornado and to say a little thanks to everyone that pitched in and helped during that time, our emergency services, utilities, street crew, volunteers, citizens. So if you're available, come on out that day, 11:27 a.m., the time the tornado hit. So that's all I have for tonight.
All right, with that being said, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting
Thank
adjourned.
you.